The left-wing mayor of New York City, Bill de Blasio, met with the president-elect at Trump Tower today. He emerged in a righteous fury, promising to defy the new administration and the entire federal government on the question of immigration. The mayor said he will continue to treat illegal immigrants as American citizens, issuing them government ID cards and shielding them from law enforcement. Maybe not since fellow Democrat George Wallace stood in the schoolhouse door has an elected official issued such a fiery challenge to the feds. Here's part of what de Blasio said today.
That proposal countered and flew in the face of all that was great about New York City, the ultimate city of immigrants. A place that has succeeded because it was open for everyone, a place built of generation after generation of immigrants. And I reiterated to him that this city and so many cities around the country will do all we can to protect our residents and to make sure that families are not torn apart.
Well, joining us now is an ally of Mayor de Blasio. He is New York City Council member Rafael Salamanca, who represents the Bronx. It's great to see you, Mr. Salamanca. So there's something that evokes memories in this, and we saw this in the 1950s and 60s. States and municipalities defied federal law in a bunch of different places, in Little Rock, for example, in Alabama and Mississippi, and the Fed sent troops in, sent tanks in to enforce federal law. How is this different from that?
Well, I don't think the federal government is going to send any tanks or...
But why is it different from what happened before?
Well, to be quite frank, I can't explain what happened before, but I can explain what's happening now.
Okay.
ID NYC, it's an ID that the city of New York has, which residents in my district and in the city of New York are taking good advantage of.
Right.
Because of, number one, what it provides. We have I have a lot of my constituents and also residents that live in my community who do not have a form of ID. And therefore, what ID NYC does is that it allows you to have a form of ID should you have any interaction with police officers or municipal.
I understand that, but what the mayor was saying is, look, there are federal laws about who's allowed to be in the country and who's not, and we're ignoring them, and there's nothing you can do about it. Why is that not a violation of the law itself? You're an elected official looking at the federal government and saying, I'm not obeying. Why is that okay?
Well, I don't think that that's what the mayor's saying, that he's not obeying. What the mayor's saying is that he's going to protect residents of the city, in the city of New York. And in the city of New York, we have individuals who are documented and undocumented, and he's looking out for the best interests of the residents.
So New York is a sanctuary city, which means it protects people who are breaking immigration laws, right? There are federal laws, they're being broken, but those people are protected by the city of New York. My question is, once you start deciding we're not recognizing certain laws, why stop with immigration laws? Why wouldn't New York City be a sanctuary city for tax evaders, for example, or people who use heroin? I mean, who decides which laws New Yorkers have to follow and which they don't?
Well, I don't think that that's what the mayor is implying. That's what
he said.
Well, no, to be quite frank, I don't think that that's what the mayor is implying. What the mayor is implying is that he's looking out for residents in the city of New York. And, you know, his conversation, my understanding, I'm watching the media, and he was very frank and clear to President-elect Trump that he's going to do everything that he can in his power to protect his constituents.
And Trump is saying, I mean, you have a legitimate difference of opinion here, but Trump is saying there's a law that prohibits people who are here illegally from working and continuing to collect benefits. And your mayor and you are saying, no, we're ignoring the law. They're doing something. Or you're not saying that. Do you think the people who are here illegally should face the legal consequences?
No, what I'm saying is that, so the federal government, they're the ones who enforce the law, correct?
That's right.
And the state has to abide by what the federal government has to say. But we also have every right to say, hey, we want to defend our constituents, whether they're documented or undocumented. And this is very clear. The reason that the mayor is being so frank is because of President-elect's stance on immigration and what he plans on doing. And so,
but his stance is not different from what the law currently is under President Obama. He's merely saying, I'm going to enforce the law. And your argument is you shouldn't enforce the law.
No, what
sort of an odd message for an elected official to send.
What his stance is saying is that he's going to go after and he's just going to deport all undocumented immigrants. But there's a repercussion to that. What about families? The families that are here. You're going to break families who are here. And as an elected official, at least me being an elected official in the South Bronx, where I have a high population of individuals who are documented or undocumented, it's my responsibility to protect them all.
But I wonder if you have a responsibility to other people in this country, like, say, the middle class in New York, which has been shrinking every year since I can remember. They're obviously impacted negatively by illegal immigration because they're paying the bills for people who aren't citizens. Where's the concern for them? I never hear anybody on the left say, what about like ordinary people working 2 jobs? You know, they don't have a lot of money. They're paying for this stuff. What about their interests? Are you interested in their interests?
Well, you also have the undocumented who are working 2, 3 jobs as well, and they're also paying taxes as well. You know, so again, I am responsible for the South Bronx, and it's my responsibility to defend the individuals who are living in the South Bronx.
What do you say to people, because it's not just about the South Bronx, it's about the millions of people who are living here who are not allowed to be here legally. They just came, they're defying the law, they're not interested in obeying the law, apparently. What do you say to the millions and millions and millions of people who are waiting in line in foreign countries to do it the right way, and it's a long process? They're suckers, aren't they? And you're pointing out what suckers they are by helping the people who broke the law.
No. So, well, I'm being quite frank. We also have to understand that these individuals who are undocumented, who are here, you know, they're here because they want to get a better life for themselves.
No,
and for
I get it,
their
but no,
families.
I'm talking about other people. What about all the decent people who want to come here to make a better life for themselves, but they can't because they have to follow the laws? What about them? Does this make a mockery of what they're doing?
No, and again, the immigration system is not perfect. It is flawed, and we both know that.
But are you making it better, or are you encouraging people to break the law by giving them sanctuary here?
No, we're not encouraging anyone to break the law.
Really?
No, yeah, really. We're not encouraging anyone.
But you're
to
saying
break
if
the
you
law.
make it to New York, you're all set. You know, no one's gonna come grab you because we're gonna protect you. If I'm in a foreign country and if it's a choice between waiting in line for 3 years to get a visa or just like showing up illegally and getting to New York, why wouldn't I choose the latter?
No. Well, again, that's a conversation that we all need to have because our immigration,
our
immigration system is flawed, and we know that. What I am advocating is for those individuals that are in my council district, and we have a new government. Well, we have a president-elect who's coming in, who's stating that he's going to come in and he is going to deport all of them.
Let me say, we're almost out of time. A sincere question. So you're issuing voter ID cards. You're issuing ID cards. What would prevent a holder of one of those cards from voting? Are you worried about that?
No, because in order for you to vote, you need a social security number. And these ID cards, you don't need a social security number to obtain it.
Should people here illegally be allowed to vote, do you think?
I'm sorry?
Should people here illegally be allowed to vote?
No.
You don't think they should?
No.
So if a vote came up and that was the question, should we allow them to vote, you would vote no?
No, exactly.
Okay, well, good for you.
Yeah.
City Councilman, thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you.